Greetings from Mare Astronomy Center and Jordan Planetarium at the University of Maine. My name is Sean Lotch, I'm the Planetarium Director, and I look forward to sharing some of the beauty and wonder of our universe with you. This is our virtual sky tour number 6 for the week of May 15th through 21st of 2020. In tonight's tour, we're going to be taking a look at Mercury, the elusive planet, seeing Venus fade into evening twilight, and take a look for Comet Swan, which is starting to be visible in our early morning skies. Let's go ahead and get started. Our sky is set up using stellarium and we're facing the direction west around 8:45 p.m. in the evening. As we bring our pointer into view, we'll notice the bright planet Venus, which is low over in our northwestern sky. Venus has dominated the evening sky over the last couple months, but over the next 2 weeks it is getting lower and lower and finally will fade away into evening twilight. So do check it out while you still have a chance to see this bright, beautiful planet. Now, while Venus is going to be fading away over the next couple of weeks, the planet Mercury is starting to join us in our evening sky. We're going to use some tools here and sort of move time forward and see Mercury come into view. So here we are on the 15th of the month, and as we advance day by day, we're going to see Mercury join our skies. And really around the 18th, you're going to start to notice it a little bit easier over in the west-northwestern sky. Now, it isn't quite as bright as Venus, but the good news is the two are moving closer and closer together. And on the evening of the 21st, the two are going to be in the same field of view with binoculars. So if you have a pair of binoculars, do get out and try and check out these planets on that night. As we continue to move forward in time, you're going to see Venus getting lower and lower, while Mercury is going to get higher and higher. So even on the 22nd, Mercury and Venus still within that same binocular field of view. Well, this gives you a chance to see Mercury, which is often called the elusive planet because it never gets very high above our horizon. And having bright Venus as a guide really works quite well. So do check out these two planets over the next week or two in your evening sky. Well, right now what we want to do is go ahead and move time forward a bit. We're going to set things up for our sky a little bit later in the evening. So let me go ahead and do that real quickly here. And we're going to move time ahead to about roughly 9:30 or so p.m. tonight. And that's when we're going to have a nice dark view of our sky. Mercury and Venus will have set by that time. There we go. So here we are at 9:30 p.m. in the evening, once Mercury and Venus have basically just set below our horizon. And over in the western sky, we're going to notice two bright stars, which are Castor and Pollux, the heads of the two Gemini twins. Gemini, one of those constellations which also we're only going to see for a short while yet. If we were to draw it in, it's supposed to be two twin brothers over there, and with lots of imagination, here they are sort of standing straight up over in our western sky. Well, we're going to change our view a little bit here. I'm going to rotate things around. So we're going to start off and move from the west all the way over until we are facing the direction of south. And in the southern sky, once it gets dark, you're going to notice a very bright star sort of high overhead in the south, and that is the star Spica. Spica is in the constellation of Virgo. Now, to see all of Virgo, we're going to have to look up just a little bit higher, so I'm going to bring our horizon line down just a little bit here. We're still looking towards the south, and the star Spica that we're seeing is sort of a grain of wheat that Virgo is holding in her hand. This is her head up to here. One arm extends out this way, the other arm down to Spica, and then she has a long flowing gown down through here. Well, if we go ahead and highlight Spica, we can draw in Virgo there in our night sky. And again, she is seen as a goddess or maiden of fertility and was used to know when to plant and harvest crops by farmers in ancient times. Well, taking Virgo out, we're going to move our sky once again till we can see those cardinal points, so moving up just a little bit. And we're going to rotate once again all the way over until we're facing the direction east. And we want to do that because we have a few things that we want to look for in our eastern sky. Now, starting off tonight, as soon as it gets dark over in the east, you're going to notice the bright star sort of Vega, which is in the east-northeast, and relatively close to it, Deneb. Now, these two stars we did talk about, Vega is in Lyra the Harp, and Deneb is part of Cygnus the Swan. Tonight I'm not so much going to be worried about those two constellations, but we're going to use those two bright stars to help us find another constellation which is currently visible at this time of year. And that is to draw a line from the star Deneb to Vega and keep going about an equal distance on the other side. Now once we do that, we're going to have to shift our view just a little bit here of our sky a bit. And we're going to see this group of stars right through here, which is Hercules. Hercules is supposed to be a hero in the nighttime sky, and this keystone is sort of the body of Hercules. His arms and legs sort of go out in each of these other directions right through there. But Hercules, a nice constellation to be looking for at this time of year. We're going to highlight one of the stars in Hercules so that we can draw it in, and he is supposed to be a hero. In fact, he supposedly fought a battle with Leo the lion. He strangled the beast and tossed it into the sky, which is why we can see Leo in our spring skies as well. Well, tonight we're not going to worry so much about Hercules as a constellation. I want you to be able to find him. Again, use Deneb, draw a line to Vega, and go about an equal direction on the other side, and you'll be seeing Hercules there in your night sky. But the real reason I want to show you him is because there is a wonderful object in Hercules, which is known as M13. It is a globular cluster. And that is a ball of stars in Hercules. We're going to zoom into Hercules a bit until we can see this. So I'm going to sort of move him down a little bit so that we can zoom in. And you might start to notice that even as we get closer and closer here, you may notice there is just that little hazy little dot right here on this side of Hercules. Right through there. You can see this with your unaided eye. If you're in dark enough skies, it's going to appear sort of as a little hazy dot right there. And as we zoom in, what we're seeing there is the great globular cluster in Hercules. And globular clusters are big balls of stars, and this one is about 500,000 stars. As we zoom into it, you're going to see it with a little more detail there, this globular cluster in Hercules. Well, globular clusters orbit the halo of our galaxy, and they are big balls of stars that are bound together by gravity. We actually can use these stars to help us figure out the position of our solar system within the Milky Way. Now, they're a great object visible in binoculars, so I hope you have a chance to get out, find Hercules in your night sky, and scan for M13, this great globular cluster, which has about 500,000 stars or so. Let's go ahead, we're going to zoom back out until we can see our constellations once again. And I'm going to bring up our horizon line here so that we're still looking towards that eastern sky that we talked about earlier as well. And now what I want to do is I want to move time forward, and we're going to go into the early morning hours because we do want to take a look for this comet that has been talked about, and that is a comet which is Comet Swan. And here we are. I'm going to move back time just a little bit. We're going to jump to about 3:45 or so in the morning. There we are. And Comet Swan in the northeastern area of our sky. Now, this is the sky that you would see it on May 16th in the morning. And you're going to notice the moon is very close to Mars there in our morning sky right now. And over here in the northeast, Comet Swan, very close to the horizon. Now, this week it is going to be a little bit of a challenge to see, but if you start looking again in the east-northeast around 3:45 in the morning, you're going to need a really good view of your northeastern horizon to see this object. The Comet Swan has been getting brighter, and it should be around its brightest about the 26th or so of this month. Right now it's currently about 5th magnitude, so it is visible to the unaided eye, but binoculars may show you a little bit more of it, and there's been some really beautiful images taken of the comet with a nice tail. Well, let's try to zoom in a little bit on Comet Swan, so I'm going to sort of move that over into our center of view here, and we're going to sort of zoom in a little bit, and there again, Comet Swan is sort of this little hazy blob like object there in our night sky right now, or morning sky actually. And you may notice a little bit of a tail with it with binoculars. But some really beautiful images taken by viewers in the southern hemisphere. This comet was discovered in the southern hemisphere and is now moving northward. And again, it's really going to be at its best towards the end of May and early June. On the 26th is when it reaches perihelion, its closest point to the sun, and when we have the best chance of seeing a really elongated tail. So do keep an eye on this comet. We're hoping it will be quite spectacular. It's always hard to predict with comets, but it is well worth a look. Well, this has been a quick tour of the evening skies for the week of May 15th through 21st of 2020. We hope you keep looking up, stay safe, and we hope to see you at the planetarium again soon. Have a wonderful day.